Switzerland was never just a country to me. It was a dream, a vision that shimmered in my mind long before I ever set foot on its soil. It was a place that seemed almost mythical, where every image I saw and every story I heard only added to its allure. I imagined mountains that pierced the bluest of skies, their snow-capped peaks standing like ancient guardians over the land, silent and eternal. I pictured red trains winding gracefully through emerald valleys, their carriages gliding past wildflower meadows and sparkling rivers, connecting storybook villages nestled between the hills. My first journey to Switzerland was not by plane or train, but through the pages of books and the frames of films. Each tale I read, each scene I watched, painted another layer onto my vision of this perfect land, one of adventure, beauty, and tranquility. I could almost taste the creamy richness of Swiss chocolate melting on my tongue, and I imagined the crisp, invigorating mountain air filling my lungs, refreshing me with every breath. In my mind, I heard the gentle music of cowbells echoing across rolling green hills, a sound both timeless and comforting, calling me to a simpler, more peaceful world. Planning the trip became a symphony of anticipation. Each destination I marked on the map was like a note in a melody I'd waited years to play. I spent hours poring over guidebooks, tracing routes with my finger, dreaming of the adventures that awaited me in every corner of this enchanting country. Would reality ever match the fantasy I had built up over so many years? That question only made my excitement grow. Packing my suitcase, checking my passport, and seeing my flight on the departure board felt surreal, like stepping into the pages of my own story. As my plane finally descended, the moment I had dreamed of for so long arrived. The Alps broke through the clouds, their vastness and majesty taking my breath away. No photograph, no film could have prepared me for the sheer scale and beauty of what I saw. Jagged peaks shimmered in the golden sunlight, their sharp edges softened by the morning mist, promising adventure and wonder beyond anything I had imagined. Glaciers draped themselves across the mountainsides, their icy blue rivers winding down the slopes, ancient and powerful, shaping the land for millennia. In that instant, as I gazed out the window, I knew this journey would surpass every expectation I had ever held. The dream was no longer just a fantasy, it was unfolding before my eyes, more vivid and breathtaking than I could have hoped. It was the beginning of an adventure that would not only change how I saw the world, but also how I saw myself. I was ready to explore, to discover, and to be transformed by the magic of Switzerland. The dream I had cherished for so long was about to become real, and I was finally stepping into the story I had always longed to live. My first true taste of the Alps was in the Jungfrau region, a place that instantly captured my imagination and left me awestruck. As the train wound its way through the mountains, I pressed my face to the window, unable to look away from the dramatic peaks and lush green valleys unfolding before me. The landscape here is so stunning it almost feels unreal, as if you've stepped into a painting or a dream. Every direction you look, there's another jaw-dropping view. Towering mountains, deep valleys, and meadows dotted with wildflowers. I chose to stay in Lauterbrunnen, a magical valley town framed by sheer cliffs and no fewer than 72 waterfalls, including the ethereal Staubach Falls, which tumble gracefully beside the village church. The sound of rushing water is a constant companion here, echoing off the rock walls and filling the air with a sense of wonder. Cogwheel trains and cable cars carried me ever higher into the heart of the Alps, each ascent revealing new wonders, glaciers glinting in the sunlight, tiny villages perched on impossible slopes, and endless panoramas that made me feel like I was on top of the world. At Jungfraujoch, known as the top of Europe, I stood on the observation deck surrounded by a sea of snow-capped peaks and the endless sweep of the Aletsch Glacier, the longest in the Alps. The air was crisp and thin, and I felt a sense of exhilaration and humility all at once. Down in Mürren, a car-free village perched high on a cliff, life slowed to the gentle rhythm of cowbells and mountain breezes. Here the only sounds are the distant clang of bells, the laughter of hikers, and the soft rustle of wind through alpine meadows. I spent hours simply watching clouds drift lazily across the faces of the Eiger and Jungfrau, their shapes constantly shifting. In those quiet moments I learned the value of presence, of slowing down and letting the majesty of nature wash over me. Here, the raw power of the mountains and the deep peace of the villages coexist in perfect harmony. It's a place where you can feel both the grandeur of nature and the warmth of small-town life. In the Jungfrau, I felt both small and deeply connected to something timeless and immense. The mountains have a way of putting everything in perspective, reminding you of your place in the world. This was the Switzerland I'd always dreamed of, only better. The reality surpassed every expectation, leaving me with memories and feelings I know will last a lifetime. To truly understand Switzerland, you have to ride its trains. The rhythmic hum of the tracks, the gentle sway of the carriage, and the ever-changing scenery outside your window, these are the threads that weave together the Swiss experience. The rail system here is nothing short of a marvel, an intricate network connecting remote mountain villages and bustling cities with astonishing precision and ease. Trains glide through valleys, scale steep slopes, and wind their way through the heart of the Alps, always on time, always dependable. My Swiss travel pass became my passport to adventure, unlocking a world where each journey was as breathtaking as the destination itself. With every new route, I discovered a different side of Switzerland, its tranquil lakes, its snow-capped peaks, its charming villages nestled in green valleys. The Glacier Express, famously known as the world's slowest express train, wound its way through tunnels and over dizzying bridges, revealing Switzerland's greatest natural wonders through panoramic windows. Each curve in the track offered a new postcard-perfect view, from deep gorges to sunlit meadows. Connections were seamless, from high-speed trains whisking you between major cities, to bright yellow post buses waiting at rural stations, ready to carry you even further into the countryside. And then, there were the historic cogwheel railways, climbing impossibly steep slopes to reach alpine summits where the air is thin and the views are endless. These feats of engineering are as much a part of Swiss heritage as the mountains themselves. The system's legendary reliability brought a sense of calm and trust. Watching the iconic Swiss station clocks, I marveled at how trains arrived and departed with near-perfect punctuality, a testament to the country's dedication to order and efficiency. Train rides became moments of reflection, planning, and wonder as the landscape unfolded outside. The gentle motion of the train offered a rare chance to slow down, to think, to dream, and to simply be present in the moment. I shared smiles and stories with fellow travelers from around the world, each of us brought together by the shared journey. The train became a moving community, a place where strangers became companions, if only for a few hours. I watched families set off on hikes, their excitement palpable as they gazed out at the Alps, backpacks ready for adventure. The trains carried not just people, but dreams and possibilities. In every gentle sway of the carriage, I felt the country's heartbeat, a steady, reassuring rhythm that echoed the Swiss commitment to harmony and connection. Swiss trains don't just move people, they connect them to the land, to each other, and to the spirit of Switzerland itself. Every journey is an invitation to see, to feel, and to belong. This was travel as it should be, effortless, beautiful, and deeply human. In Switzerland, the journey is every bit as magical as the destination. Switzerland is a feast for the senses, especially taste. In Gruyères, I watched master cheesemakers craft the world-famous cheese, then savored fondue in a cozy restaurant. At the Lindt home of chocolate, a towering fountain and endless samples made for a chocolate lover's paradise. Each region offered its own specialties. Hearty Zürcher-Geschnetzeltes in the German-speaking areas, polenta and risotto in Italian-speaking Ticino. The focus was always on quality and local ingredients, whether a simple sandwich from a village bakery or a lakeside meal of fresh-caught perch. Every bite was a lesson in Swiss diversity and pride. Food here isn't just sustenance, it's a connection to the land and its people. My culinary journey added a rich, flavorful layer to my adventure. Switzerland truly tastes as good as it looks. Interlaken, nestled between Lake Thun and Lake Brienz, is the perfect gateway to the Alps. The town buzzes with energy, but its true magic is the setting, mountains rising above turquoise waters. I cruised Lake Thun on a historic paddle steamer, stopping at fairy-tale castles and villages along the shore. On Lake Brienz, a steam-powered train carried me to the Brienzer Rothorn for sweeping alpine views. From the summit, the world stretched out in a tapestry of blue, green, and white. Interlaken became my adventure hub, one day on serene lakes, the next hiking high trails, always returning to share stories with fellow travelers. Whether seeking adrenaline or peace, this place delivered both. My time here was a perfect blend of relaxation and exhilaration. Between two lakes, I found the heart of Swiss adventure. Arriving in Zermatt felt like stepping into another world. The car-free village sits at the foot of the Matterhorn, its jagged peak dominating the skyline. I took the Bahn up to a ridge surrounded by a panorama of towering peaks and glaciers. Hours slipped by as I watched light and shadow dance across the Matterhorn's face. At dawn, I hiked to Stellasee, where the mountain's fiery alpenglow reflected perfectly on the still water. Zermatt is more than a ski resort. It's a pilgrimage for nature lovers and adventurers. Trails wind through forests and past glaciers, offering something for every explorer. The Matterhorn is the star, a symbol of nature's raw power and beauty. To stand in its presence is unforgettable. Switzerland's landscapes are breathtaking, but it's the people who give the country its soul. From helpful train conductors to welcoming guest house owners, every encounter added warmth to my journey. In a tiny village, I shared a meal and stories with Elsbeth, an elderly host, despite our language barrier, a reminder that connection needs no translation. Switzerland's 4 languages and diverse regions create a rich cultural tapestry, each with its own flavor and charm. These moments taught me that travel is about people as much as places. The Swiss, with their quiet pride and deep connection to the land, left a lasting impression. They are the heart of the country I came to love. Standing atop a Swiss summit, the world below seems to simplify. Surrounded by the silent power of the Alps, my worries shrank to nothing. On a trail above the Aletsch Glacier, I learned humility and patience, letting go of plans and embracing the unexpected. Hiking challenged me, but each hard-won view brought a sense of accomplishment and resilience. Switzerland taught me to respect nature's pace and to find joy in detours. The mountains gave me perspective, reminding me of the beauty and interconnectedness of the world. I came down from the peaks refreshed, recentered, and filled with wonder. The lessons of the Alps stayed with me long after I left. Switzerland changed me. As my train left the mountains for Zurich, I felt a bittersweet ache. Switzerland had become part of me. The memories, cowbells, alpine cheese, the Matterhorn at dawn, were souvenirs of the heart. This journey was more than a trip, it was a transformation. I learned to savor simplicity, embrace new perspectives, and connect across cultures. Switzerland delivered on its promise of beauty, but gave me something deeper, a renewed sense of wonder and gratitude. I urge you, go, see it for yourself, ride the trains, hike the trails, taste the chocolate, meet the people. Let Switzerland's peace and perfection inspire you. I returned home changed, carrying a heart full of wonder and a desire to keep exploring. Keep exploring.